It really has been a great year. Very positive in so many ways. Positive in terms of the growing interest in fresh expressions of church, even if there isn't necessarily a great clarity as to what it is, but people are wanting to find out and see what it might mean in practice. Very positive in terms of the discussion at this year's General Assembly regarding fresh expressions of church and deliverances that relate to it. Also positive in terms of initiatives that are being thought about and are being just got off the ground at this particular time. Another important, and I think a very important development within the church is that I think the suspicion between those who are involved in traditional expressions of church and those who are advocating a fresh expression of church, that suspicion is lessening. There's an understanding and a mutual respect that together we are there to express the Church of Jesus Christ and be about what the church should be about. And that is very, very helpful. Now, to be honest, as well as the positive side, folks do have doubts and questions. Sometimes that can be because they've had a bad experience of a fresh expression of church. Sometimes it may be that there are theological or cultural questions. Now, these need to be addressed and not brushed under the carpet, because in addressing them, I think together as a church, we can move forward. For instance, some may see fresh expressions of church as too evangelical or too liberal. Some may be concerned about its governance. Some may just wonder, how do you get it off the ground? What are the first steps, particularly if I'm feeling wearied and tired and things seem to be just piling in on top of me, and yet I do want to reach out in mission. Now, to help us with these, what we're doing as a church is getting out, not just asking people to come to where we might be, but to go to every presbytery and every church within Scotland to actually address these issues, our hopes, our fears, our questions about the first steps. We are clustering presbyteries together. So over this autumn, we're visiting 3 regions around Ayr, around Dornoch and around Dundee. Then in the summer, or in the spring, we will have 3 full-blown fresh expression vision days in those same 3 areas, where people can come and find out what would a fresh expression of church mean in my local patch in practice. And then in the summer, in June, we're having a summer school where Phil Potter and George Lings, people who are very experienced both in research and in the planting and development of fresh expressions of church, they will be with us, as well as some local theologians and practitioners, to think deeply about the practice of developing these forms of church. That'll be the 22nd to the 25th of June, and that will be here in Scotland. And that will be open to everybody, but it'll also be open to ministers on study leave. To summarise, it has been genuinely a very positive and a very, very good year. Secondly, there are doubts and questions which we're actively addressing, and as we do that, the feedback is very positive, as a greater understanding of what we're about is developing within the church. And thirdly, we have a strategy as we move forward so that we may engage the church as a whole with this wonderful opportunity of fresh expressions of church.